Yes, sir. You can start now.
Okay. Hello, students. Welcome to the online education for the English medium organized by the Education Department of Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. Okay. So today we are going to continue with the subject science for class 9th. The topic that we were studying was current electricity. Okay. So this is the last session for this chapter. That is the 6th session. And today we are going to be discussing all the exercise questions that we have in the textbook. Okay. So all of you have to take the screenshots of whatever the questions that we are discussing. Okay. And of course, you can be asking me the questions. So my name is Vishal Sudhir Chaudhary. I am from Kurar Village MPS English Secondary School. Okay. So in this chapter, we have studied topics like potential difference, free electrons, then concept of electric current. Then we have seen the concept of resistance and Ohm's law, right? Then we have seen certain electrical circuits and the most important concept of resistors in series and resistors in parallel. Okay, so we are going to discuss all the questions from this chapter in detail one by one. Okay, so let us go to the exercise question number 1. Okay, now what do we have? The accompanying figure shows some electrical appliances connected in a circuit in a house. Answer the following questions, right? So here we have certain electrical appliances. As you can see, there is a lamp, then there is a television, then there is another lamp, right? And there are certain other appliances which are connected, right? So we have to answer the questions one by one. Okay, let us see the question number 1A. By which method are the appliances connected? Now, as you can see in the diagram, it is a domestic circuit that is inside a house, right? And as we had discussed previously, all domestic electrical circuits are connected in a parallel combination or parallel connection, right? So the first answer is what? The appliances are connected in a parallel connection. Okay. Then next question 1B. What must be the potential difference across the individual appliances? Now, when we had studied the concept of parallel combination, you remember that current across the individual resistors means individual appliance will change. But because all the appliances are connected across 2 points only, they will have the same potential difference, right? So the potential difference across individual appliances will be the same as the supply voltage, right? So whatever will be the supply voltage, it will be the voltage that will be supplied to all the individual appliances. Okay. Then next question 1C. Will the current passing through each appliance be the same? Justify your answer. Right. Now, the current passing through each appliance will be different. Now, as we have studied earlier, the characteristics of a parallel combination, in a parallel combination, what happens? The voltage remains constant, but current across all of the individual appliances will change, right? So the current passing through each appliance will be different. Now let us justify the answer, right? Now, what is the justification? We know that I equals to V by R. Now, I equals to V by R. This is according to Ohm's law, right? V equals to IR, right? It is a formula for Ohm's law. So we have just rearranged it. We know that I equals to V by R. Now, even if the voltage V is the same, the resistance of each of the appliance is different. Means when you connect different appliances like a television or a lamp or a fan, all those individual appliances have different resistances, right? So because they have different resistances, the value of I will be different even though the value of V is constant, right? So what is the justification? See, we know that I equals to V by R. Even if the voltage V is the same, the resistance R of each appliance is different. Hence, the current I through each appliance will be different, right? So this is the characteristic of a parallel combination, right? So in a parallel combination, what happens? Voltage remains constant, but the value of current, the value of I across each appliance will be different. Okay, then question 1D. Why are domestic appliances connected in this way? Domestic appliances are connected in this way so that even if one of the appliances is out of order, the other appliances can still be used, right? Because in a parallel combination, what happens is each electrical device or each appliance will get its own supply, right? Because it is a parallel combination. So even if one of the devices is not working, the other devices will get their own individual wire, right, through which the current can be supplied to those appliances. So even if one of the appliances is out of order, the other appliances can still be used. Right. Point number or question number 1E. If the TV stops working, will the other appliances also stop working? Explain your answer. Yes, we have just discussed it previously that each of the individual appliances will get its own supply. Right. That is what is the advantage of a parallel combination. Right. Let us see the answer. Even if the TV stops working, other appliances will not stop working as they are connected in a parallel combination in the circuit, and it is the advantage of that parallel combination, right? So even if one of the devices stops working, other devices keep on working properly, right? Okay, so even in this case, if the TV stops working, other appliances will keep on functioning normally. Then let us see the next question. Umesh has two bulbs having resistances of 15 ohms and 30 ohms. He wants to connect them in a circuit, but if he connects them one at a time, the filament gets burnt, right? So Umesh has two resistances that is having value of 15 ohm and 30 ohms, right? So he wants to connect them in a circuit. Now, there are two ways of connecting resistances in a circuit. The first way is what? By a series combination, and the second one is what? By a parallel combination, right? If he connects them one at a time, the filament gets burnt. That means the voltage will be quite high. Okay, so answer the following question. Which method should be used to connect the bulbs? It should be a parallel combination. Why? Because if you want to make both the bulbs work, they have to be in a parallel combination. If you put them in a series combination, what will happen? If one of them gets burnt, if one of them stops working, the other one will also stop working. So for us to make both of them or either of them work, you have to put them in a parallel combination. Then question number 3B. What are the characteristics of this way of connecting the bulbs depending on the answer of the question A above, right? So the question A, in the question A, we had answered that they are connected in a parallel combination, right? So if they are connected in a parallel combination, what are the characteristics of this way? Let us see the answer. Because we have connected them in parallel, so we will have to write the characteristics of a parallel combination. Let us discuss one by one. Characteristics of parallel combination of resistors are as follows. First one, the potential difference, that is voltage across each of the resistors, is the same, right? Because in a parallel combination, all of the appliances will be connected only across the two ends. That means all the appliances will be connected parallel across two terminals, that is two ends in a circuit. Okay. Point number 2, the total current is equal to the sum of the currents through the individual resistors. That means the total current I will be equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Means if I1 is current flowing through the television, if I2 is current flowing through the lamp, and I3 is current flowing through the fan, then the total current I will be the sum of all of the individual currents flowing through the different appliances. Okay, then let us see the third point. The reciprocal of the effective resistance of the combination is equal to the sum of the reciprocals of individual resistances. That means 1 upon Rp, right? 1 upon Rp is what? Reciprocal of the effective resistance, right? We are writing Rp for parallel combination. So 1 upon Rp will be equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 that we have seen previously. Then next point. The effective resistance of the combination is less than any one of the individual resistances. Yes, in the previous class, we had solved specific numericals also for this. Say, for example, if you have two resistances of say 15 ohms and 20 ohms, and if you connect them in a parallel combination, in that case, the effective resistance will be less than the least resistance. So if we have a 15 ohm and a 20 ohm resistor, then the effective resistance will be less than the least. In this case, the least resistance is 15 ohms. So the effective resistance will be less than 15 ohms. Okay. Then point number 5. The current through each resistor is inversely proportional to the resistance of the resistor. Yes. Okay. Then next point. The combination can be used to decrease the effective resistance in a circuit. Right. So your parallel combinations are used to decrease the effective resistance. Now point number C or question number 3C. what will be the effective resistance in the above circuit, right? So first of all, let us write down the given content, right? So given is what? Resistance R1 is 15 ohm and resistor R2 is 30 ohms. So we have to calculate the effective resistance. So in this case, because we have connected them in a parallel combination, we will take it as RP, right? Let us move further. So the formula for the effective resistance in parallel combination is what? Just previously we have discussed, right? The reciprocal of the effective resistance is equal to sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances, right? So reciprocal of effective is what? 1 upon RP, right? Reciprocal of individual resistance means what? Individual resistance R1. What is the reciprocal for that? 1 upon R1. Individual resistor R2. What is the reciprocal for that? 1 upon R2. So 1 upon RP equals to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2, right? On substituting the values of R1 and R2, we get 1 upon RP equals to 1 upon 15 plus 1 upon 30. Solving this, what do we get? 1 upon RP equals to 2 plus 1 by 30, that equals to 3 by 30, that is equal to 1 upon 10. So 1 upon RP equals to 1 upon 10. Therefore, RP will be equal to 10 ohms. Now, if you observe the final answer, right, the effective resistance in a parallel combination is only 10 ohms. But what about the resistors that we have connected? One of the resistor is 15 ohms and the other resistor is 30 ohms. So the effective resistance when you connect both of them in series, sorry, both of them in parallel will be 10 ohms. What if we connect R1 and R2 in series? In that case, RS will be equal to R1 plus R2. In that case, R1 plus R2 will be 15 plus 30. That will be 45 ohms. So this proves that the parallel combination will be used to decrease the overall resistance, whereas a series combination will be used to increase the overall resistance. Okay, let us move to the next question. Here we have a certain data that is provided to us, right? What is it? Question number 4. The following table shows current in amperes and potential difference in volts, right? So we have this for the same circuit and we have 3 different cases. Now, when the voltage or when the voltage, that is potential difference, is 4 volts, the current is 9 amperes. In the second case, when the potential difference is 5 volts, the current is 11.25 amperes. And when the potential difference is 6 volts, the current flowing is 13.5 amperes, right? So we have to make use of these data and we have to solve the questions. Let us see what are the questions. The first question is to find the average resistance. Now, because you have 3 cases, we will have to calculate the resistance for all the 3 cases. So we know that Ohm's law, V equals to IR, right? So R will be equal to V by I. Okay, so we have just rearranged the Ohm's law as per our requirement. So we have taken R equals to V by I. Okay, now what we will do is we will calculate the individual resistances for all the 3 cases. So hence, R1 will be equal to V1 by I1. So for the first case, V1 is 4 volts and I1 is 9 amperes, right? So R1 will be V1 by I1, that is equal to 4 by 9. We get 0.44 ohms. Okay, let us go for the second case. R2 will be equal to V2 by I2. In this case, the value of V2 is 5 volts and the value of I2 is 11.25 volts. So we will divide 5 by 11.25. So R2 we will get as 0.44 ohms, right? Let us see for the next case. R3 will be equal to V3 by I3. So value of V3 is 6 volts and the value of I3 is 13.5 amperes. So we divide 6 divided by 13.5 amperes, we will get 0.44 ohms. Now, if you observe the values of R1, R2 and R3, all the values are the same. That means you get the same resistance. Okay, so, therefore, average resistance is 0.44 ohms, right? There is an interesting consequence for this, which we will see in the next question. What do they ask? What will be the nature of the graph between the value of current I and potential difference V? do not draw a graph, right? So now if we plot the value of V on the x-axis and the value of I on the y-axis, right? What kind of graph we will get? Now, because the value of R is constant, you can see the voltage is increasing 4, 5, 6. Same way, the current is also increasing 9, then 11.25, then 13.5. So if you plot a graph, what do we get? We get a straight line passing through the origin, right? It is a very important concept. This proves the concept of Ohm's law. That is what is the next question. What does it say? Which law will the graph prove? So when you get the graph of current versus potential difference, right, which passes through the origin as a straight line, right? So which law will the graph prove? And we will have to explain the law. So let us write down. The graph will prove the Ohm's law. The relationship, let us explain the law now. The relationship between the current flowing through the wire I and the potential difference across its ends V is given by the Ohm's law, right? Let us write down the law now. It states that, means the Ohm's law states that if the physical state of a conductor remains constant, the current I going through it is directly proportional to the potential difference V between its two ends. Right, let us again explain the law. The relationship between the current flowing through a wire I and the potential difference across its ends V is given by the Ohm's law. It states that if the physical state of a conductor remains constant, the current I flowing through it is directly proportional to the potential difference V between its two ends. So we had written the derivation previously. I is directly proportional to V. Therefore, I equals to K into V, right? So that we had seen. Further, the next question is to match the pairs. So in this case, we have a group A on the left side and we have a group B on the right hand side, right? So in the group A, what do we have? We have free electrons, then we have current, then we have resistivity, and then we have resistance in series. On the right hand side, we have V by R, then increases the resistance in a circuit. Then we have weakly attached, and then we have VA by Li. So let us see the first answer. Yes, we know free electrons are weakly attached, right? When we study the concept of free electrons for metals, free electrons are the electrons which are very loosely attached to the atoms, right? So when an electrical potential is applied, those electrons are removed and they are free to move in the circuit. Okay, then current I equals to V by R, that we had seen according to Ohm's law, right? Then resistivity is equal to VA by Li. And then we had seen resistance in series will increase the resistance in a circuit, whereas resistance in a parallel will decrease the resistance in a circuit. So resistance in series increases the resistance in a circuit. Now, this is a very important question. Why? Because here we are going to come across a lot of circuit diagrams, right? So students, please concentrate what we are doing here. Now, what do we have? Resistances R1, R2, R3, and R S1 and S2 flowing in the circuit in the following cases. Now, what is important here is you need to see that we have R1, R2. So R1 resistor is connected across point C and D, right? R2 is connected across B and E. R3 is connected across AG, and R4 is connected across HI. So we have two switches. First is S1 across DE, and the second is S2 across FG, right? So they will give you us certain conditions. So let us see what is the first condition. Both S1 and S2 are closed. Closed means the circuit will be flowing through that point. That means if S1 is closed, the current can flow between points D and E. And if S2 is also closed, then current can flow through points F and G, right? So let us see what happens. So both S1 and S2 are closed. Now, when such a case happens, the circuit for this case is as shown below. So let us see how the circuit changes. Okay, now if you remember, the switch S1 was between point D and E, and the switch S2 was between point F and G. So in that case, you can see those are now shown by solid lines so that current can flow. Okay, so now let us see what happens. Now in this case, resistors R1 and R2 are in parallel. So let us solve it one by one, right? So first of all, as you can see, resistor R1 and R2, they are in a parallel combination across points B and D. Okay, if you look at them carefully, resistor R1 and R2, what are their common points of connection? First is point B and the second is point D. Okay, then so in that case, their effective resistance will be 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Now, for convenience, we are writing it as 1 by R dash. We are taking Rp as R dash because we have to use it further. Okay, so 1 by R dash is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Now, if you simplify this equation, what do we get? R dash is equal to R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2, means R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. That we have just simplified that equation. Okay, let us move further now. R4 is in parallel with conductor of zero resistance. Now, if you go back, yes, if you go back now, look between points H and I. Right now, the resistor R4 is in parallel between points F and G. Now, because the conductor at points F and G will have zero F and G, that bypass resistance R4 means the current will not flow through I4 because it has an through resistance. So in that case, the resistance of R4 will be 0. See, also R4 is in parallel with conductor of zero resistance. So the circuit now becomes shown. Because there is a shorter path for and to flow between points F and G. Okay. Now let us see further. For R1 and R2 that we had calculated, you can simply write as R1 and R2, and we have R dash previously calculated, right? Further, distance R dash that we had calculated, R dash and R3 are in series. So, resistance means the total resistance, equivalent resistance REQ is equal to R plus R3, right? Now, to R2, 1 plus R2. So, if we can substitute that, yes. So, if you substitute that values of R, what do we get? R equivalent equals plus R. Now, if you solve this equation, what is the equivalent resistance we get? Is R2 plus R1 into R3 plus R3 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay, so we have solved value. We have got the equivalent for the circuit. Now calculate now the current going through the circuit. Right now, let us see. This is the effective. We have replaced all resistance in the circuit. Okay, so R equivalent will stand for the total resistance that we have calculated. Hence, the current flowing through the circuit is equal to, now we know Ohm's law. So we need to calculate the current in this case equal to V by R equivalent. Okay. So now if you substitute the value of R equivalent, the total resistance, what do we get? I is equal to V whole divided by R1 R2 plus R1 R3 plus R3 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Right? So what will happen now? The R1 plus R2 from the bottom denominator will go up and it will change as that way. Got the point? Okay. So that is the final resistance. Okay. Now let us move to the next concept. If both S1 and S2 circuits are open, if both S1 and S2 switches are open, in that case, what will happen? The circuit will change like this. So in this case, the current will now flow only through resistor the current will not flow through resistance R2, which S1 is okay. So now in this case, all the resistances R1, R4, and R3 are in series. So their effective resistance will be R equivalent equal to 3. No parallel, no resistor in a parallel. Let us see further. Hence, current flowing through the circuit is equal to what? I is equal to V upon R equivalent. So if you substitute that value, we will get I is equal to V divided by R1 plus R4 plus R2. Very easy. Now look at the next case. S1 is closed, but 2 is open. Now in this case, when S1 is closed, what will happen? When S1 is closed, the current will flow through resistor R2 also, because it's closed, right? And so S2, switch S2 is open. So if switch S2 is open, then in that case, what will happen? The current will now flow through resistor R4. Okay. So let's see what happens. R is in parallel. So the effective resistance is R dash is equal to R1 plus R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 that we had done in the first question. Okay, now for replace sir R1 and R2 by resistor we have substitute that is R dash. Now further resistor R3 and R4 are in series. Equivalent resistance in total circuit is R equivalent equals to 3 plus R dash plus R4. Right? The total resistance. Now, if you write the current flowing, or if you substitute the value of current, get equivalent to R3 plus R1 into R2 divided by 1 plus R2 plus R4. On solving this whole equation, what do we get? R2 plus R1 into R2 plus 3 plus 1 R4 plus R2 whole divided by R4. Now, if you hence rate is I that becomes I V whole divided by R1 into R2 plus R1 plus R3 into R2 plus R1 into R4 plus R4 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. If you take that R1 plus R2 from the denominator in the numerator, we get V into R1 plus R2 whole divided by R1 R2 plus R1 R3 plus R3 R2 plus the whole thing. Right. Now, if you go back slightly, just give me a moment, students. Yes. Now, in this equation, there is a very tiny mistake that I will just point it to you people. This R1, R2 is not there, students. You can just strike it off. You have only this because this R1, R2 will go upwards, right? So we have it here, right? Okay. So it is just this much part. Okay. Okay. That bottom R1, R2 will not be there because it has moved upward, right? It's just because of the mistake in the typing. Fine. Okay. So we will just move further that we have seen, right? When both S1, S2 are open. Okay. And then S1 is closed, but S2 is open, right? So in that case, we have seen R1 and R2, they are in parallel, right? So we have calculated effective resistance 1 by R dash, right, is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So we solve it as R dash is equal to R1 into R2 plus R1 plus R2. Okay. Then we solved it for the series combination where now R3, R dash and R4 are in series. So the effective resistance will be R3 plus R dash plus R4. Substituting the value of R dash, we get R equivalent equals to R3 plus R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into R4, right? Which changes as R1 R2 plus R1 R3 plus R3 R2 plus R1 R4 plus R4 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay. Now, so finally we had calculated the current I is equal to V by R equivalent. Substituting the value of equivalent resistance, we get this equation. And finally, the denominator goes upwards. right? So we get V into R1 plus R2 whole divided by that final term. Okay. Now, let us move to the next question. Now, what do we have? Now, this one is a very simple question. What do we have? Three resistances, X1, X2, and X3 are connected in a circuit in different ways. And X is the effective resistance, right? So there are three resistances, X1, X2, and X3, and X is the effective resistance. So the question is, we don't know exactly how those three resistors, X1, X2, and X3 are connected, right? The properties observed for these different ways of connecting X1, X2, and X3 are given below. So in the questions, they will give you certain conditions about what will happen when they are connected. Write the way in which they are connected in each case. That means we have to just tell how they are connected, if they are connected in parallel or if they are connected in series. In this case, I stands for current, V stands for potential difference, and X stands for the total effective resistance. Now let us go to the first question. क्या लिखा है? Current I flows through X1, X2, and X3. That means the same current I flows through X1, X2, and X3. Now, when we have studied the series combination and parallel combination, in one of the cases, current is constant, and in the other case, voltage is constant. So as you can see, current, the same current I flows through X1, X2, and X3 means in this case, current is constant, right? So for what kind of combination is current constant? In this case, X1, X2, and X3 are connected in series. Yes, if you consider a series connection, what happens is, because there is only one path for the current to flow, the current remains constant. Okay. Let us see the next question. X is larger than X1, X2, and X3 combined together. Now, if you remember, the total effective X is what? The effective resistance. Now, if the resistors are connected in series, in that case, it will be an addition X1 plus X2 plus X3. In that case, X will be larger. If X1, X2, X3 are connected in parallel, in that case, the value of X will be smaller than any of the three. So in this case, because X is larger, your X1, X2, and X3 are connected in series because the value of X is larger. Next case, X is smaller than X1, X2, and X3. Okay, so in this case, X is smaller, so the effective resistance is less. So when does the effective resistance decrease? In a parallel combination. So what is the answer? In this case, X1, X2, X3 are connected in parallel. Look at the next question. The potential difference across X1, X2, and X3 is the same. Yes, this is the opposite to the first question. In the first question, what we had current constant, right? So current remains constant in a series combination, whereas potential difference remains constant in a parallel combination, right? So you can have the answer in this case, X1, X2, X3 are connected in parallel, right? So you can take just a screenshot of the screen that you can see here so that you can write down the answers. Then next question. Now, in this case, what we have, X equals to X1 plus X2 plus X3, right? What is X? Effective resistance. What is X1? Resistor R1. X2 is the resistance R2. X3 resistance R3. In this case, you can see they are getting added up together. This happens only in a series combination. So in this case, X1, X2, and X3 are connected in series. Look at this one now. X is equal to the reciprocal of reciprocals of the individual resistors. Reciprocal kab aata hai? Parallel combination. In this case, X1, X2, X3 are connected in parallel. Very easy. Okay. Now look at the numerical here. Right. So we had, of course, seen this numerical, but because it is a part of the exercise, we will discuss it again. What does it have? The resistance of a 1 meter long nichrome wire is 6 ohms. If we reduce the length of the wire to 70 centimeter, what will its resistance be? First of all, write down the given or what are the conditions. Now, resistance of a wire is directly proportional to its length. Okay, so let R1 and R2 be resistances of the nichrome wire at 1 meter and 70 centimeter respectively. So therefore, what do we get? R1 is directly proportional to 100 and R2 is directly proportional to 70. That is just the length we have taken. So therefore, what do we get? Dividing equation 2 by 1, what do we get? We get R2 by R1 equal to 70 by 100. So R2 equal to 70 by 100 into R1. Now R1 we have as 6 ohms. So R2 is equal to 70 by 100 into 6. So R2 value we get 4.2 ohms, right? Again, you can take a screenshot of this. Next question. Now, when two resistors are connected in series, their effective resistance is 80 ohms. Okay. When they are connected in parallel, their effective resistance is 20. What are the values of two resistances? So first of all, let us write down. Let the two resistances be R1 and R2. Therefore, R1 plus R2 is equal to 80 ohms, or we can rearrange R1 is equal to 80 minus R2. And when they are connected in parallel, their effective resistance is 20. That means 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 is equal to 1 by 20. Okay. Now that is R1 into R2 is equal to 20 into R1 plus R2. So if you rearrange this equation and substitute the value of R1, that is 80 minus R2, what do we get? 80 minus R2 into R2 equals to 20 into 80 minus R2 plus R2, as R1 is equal to 80 minus R2, right? So what do we get here? 80 R square minus R 80 R2 square minus R2 square equal to 1600. So R2 square minus 80 R2 plus 1600 equal to 0. So this simplifies as R2 minus 40 into R2 minus 40 equal to 0. So therefore we get what? R2 equals to 40 ohms. So if you substitute that value of R2 equal to 40 ohms in equation 1, we get the value of R1 also 40 ohms. Okay. Then look at the next question. If a charge of 420 coulombs flows through a conducting wire in 5 minutes, what is the value of the current? Okay, so what do we have given? First of all, we have to calculate the current I equals to how much. Then next we have given Q, that is a charge which is 420 coulombs. Then what is the next thing that we have? Time. Time is given as 5 minutes. So we'll convert into seconds, 5 into 60 seconds, right? Then current flowing through a conducting wire is given by I equals to Q by T. So I equals to 420 by 5 into 60, that equals to 1.4 amperes, right? So hence the current flowing through the circuit is, or wire is 1.4 amperes. Now what we will do is, we will again briefly go through the questions again, right? So that you can have screenshots of the question that we have, right? Okay. So what we will do is, yes, so students now can take screenshots of whatever that you want for the answers, right? So that is the first question for the figure free diagram based question. By which method are the appliances connected? By a parallel combination, right? The second one, what must be the potential difference across individual appliances? Same as the supply voltage. Then will the current flowing through each appliance be the same? Justify. Yes, the current passing through each appliances will be different. So we know that I equals to V by R. So even if voltage is same, the resistance of each appliance is different. Hence, current flowing through each appliance will be different. Then next, why do we have domestic appliances connected in this way? So that even if one of appliance is out of order, the other appliances can still be used. This is a characteristic of parallel combination, right? So even if the TV stops working, other appliances will not stop working as they are connected in a parallel combination, right? Then we have what? Umesh has two bulbs having resistances 15 and 30 ohms. He wants to connect them in a circuit, right? So which method should he be used? Should be used to connect the bulbs in a parallel combination. Then what are the characteristics of this way of connecting the bulbs, right? Depending on the answer of A, that is characteristics of a parallel combination. So in a parallel combination, potential difference across each of the resistors is the same. Total current is equal to sum of the currents to the individual resistors, right? Then the reciprocal of the effective resistance of the combination is equal to the sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances. Effective resistance of the combination is less than any one of the individual resistances. Current flowing to each resistor is inversely proportional to the resistance, and combination can be used to decrease the effective resistance, right? So we have also calculated the effective resistance applying the formula for parallel combination, that is we have got 10 ohms. Okay, you can take a screenshot. Right? Then we have a table, a data-based question. So we had to find, first of all, the average resistance, which we calculated as 0.44 amperes. Then what will be the nature of the graph? It will be a straight line passing through the origin, right? Then which law did the graph prove? The graph will prove the Ohm's law. What is the statement for Ohm's law? If the physical state of a conductor remains constant, the current I flowing through it is directly proportional to potential difference V between its two ends, right? And we had also seen the match the pairs that you can just take a screenshot of as well. Okay, then we had the circuit diagram based question here, right? So what I will do is I will keep the screen here so that you can take the screenshot. Okay, you can take that screenshot. Then the next one. In this case, this part is not there. Now you can take a screenshot. Okay, then. Okay, moving to the next one. Yes, okay. Then, yes. Okay, and then finally for the calculation of current flowing, this one. Okay, and then we have the three resistances X1, X2, X3. So for that we have question 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this screen now. And finally, E and F. Okay, then we have the two numericals which we had also discussed in the previous class. Okay, same here. And then the last numerical. So students who have a question can raise their hands and ask me. Okay, can take a screenshot. Let us go back to the chat screen. Yes, so any student having a question, come on, please unmute yourself and ask the question. Yes, students. Come on, raise your hands, students. Anyone if you have any question. Yes, so this is how we have completed the chapter in the 6 sessions. Okay. Yes, Mohammad Ahmad Raza. Pucho, go on.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, we will all write this all, na?
Yes, you have to write it in your notebook. Yes,
Sir,
these are all the questions.
This is our second lesson.
This is for the third lesson, beta. This is chapter number 3, current electricity in the textbook.
Sir, and first, second, I will not try. We are new student.
Okay, okay. So when you can refer to the previous videos on the YouTube channel. You have subscribed to the YouTube channel, right? So उस YouTube channel पे आपको पहले chapters के सारे videos भी मिल जाएंगे. Okay? तो आपको देखना है और लिखना है.
You have a message.
Yes, yes. Okay. Okay. So you can go through the videos. Fine.
Yes.
Yes. Bolo, Hamdan, Hasmi. Yes, Hamdan.
हाँ सर ठीक है बस.
Okay.
हाँ yes sir.
Okay, okay. Right. So now we can conclude the class here and then we will meet for some another class. Fine. Madam. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Madam. I have completed the class. You can